What we're doing today is insane. We are going to be clearing a perimeter, which is insane because I haven't done that before. Hey guys, Deathdealer here, welcome back to another episode on the AutoCraft server. Here on the AutoCraft server we automate everything, and I mean everything you can do in vanilla Minecraft. And we have some fun along the way. If you're interested, I have an entire series playlist. Why don't you go and watch that, especially if you're interested in how we managed to get from having nothing in the world to making a perimeter, and subscribe while you're there. But yeah, I have been at work gathering resources for this project because we are going to need quite a lot of them. So what I've been doing is I've been spending a lot of time in the mines because we need a hell of a lot of redstone. And up until last episode I had like 5 stacks of redstone to my name. Now, if we look in this shulker box, yeah, that's a lot of redstone. So we need 5 stacks of redstone blocks for the actual flying machine parts. We need 18 stacks of redstone for pistons and sticky pistons, following with another 18 stacks of redstone for observers. Yeah, we're going to need like a shulker box and a half of slime block, along with a lot of other things which we will be collecting before we start off. But yeah, what I had to do is I decided to do some mining just to help me excavate some space. We started a new beacon over there and we started excavating space there, and in that time we got nearly 2 stacks of diamond ore. So why don't we fortune this stuff up, gather some more materials, and hopefully we can get started on this perimeter soon. Alright, so I've spent the last little while, maybe about 45 minutes, crafting things. Yeah, it took me that long. So we have full shulker box of slime blocks, another shulker box full of slime, redstone, and some things for making TNT dupers. Lots of pistons. This took the longest, along with the observers. We have completely ran through our cobblestone supplies, along with our redstone. So good thing we're building a witch farm today, right? And last but not least, a bunch of things here. So movable blocks, some things for return stations, the TNT we need, iron for buckets, and sand, because we'll be using that sand to help clear the trenches that we need to do first. Also, yeah, I crafted those diamonds and diamond blocks. We now have 26 diamond blocks plus 8. That is crazy. So why don't we add that to our supplies? Oh my god. We're not poor anymore, we have so many diamonds. Let me just quickly craft that up just to keep things nice. There we go, just look at that. 45 diamond blocks plus 4. Excellent. Right, so now that all of the materials have been gathered, what I guess, or what I think we should do, is we should head on over to the area where we're going to build this witch farm, which is about 2,000 blocks that way, I think. Alright, so we've made our way over to the witch hut. These are the coordinates, negative 220, negative 2800. So yeah, it's a decent distance out. I just spent the last like 10 minutes marking out the borders of the, what do you call it, the, the perimeter. So there we go, that's one of the borders there. Border over there as well. And I've marked out the corners here. So the way this is this is going to be a 17 by 17 chunk perimeter. So that's 8 chunks from the centre, which is where the witch hut is. Now obviously I have a few things to get out of the way. We have the mountains, the extreme hills, which we need to get rid of, because this is just going to get in the way. We're also going to cut down all of the trees in the area, just so that we lower the terrain itself, so that we don't need to build the flying machines as high up as we would have to otherwise. So I'm just going to do that off camera fairly quickly. It'll probably take me like an hour or two, and then we can actually start installing the trench machine, dig out the trenches, and then we can start constructing the world here. Alright, so this area has changed massively. We cut down the trees, we brought all of the terrain down to below Y70, so that's why there's some straight walls where the extreme hills used to be over there. And we've dug out the trenches, so let's go and take a little look at that. This current clip is about 2 days after the last ones, so it just shows you how long I've been at this. But yeah, we now have the trenches dug all the way down to bedrock, and we got rid of all the liquids in the trenches. Well, I still need to clear up that one there. This is actually the first trench we dug, this was the second one here. And then down here we can actually see an example of the flying machines. Yeah, we've still got some lava here and there. In fact, I'm going to pop into spectator mode so that we can see these. So these flying machines was a simple 1.16 TNT duper, but this system here is from the SciCraft server. So if you want to build this exact same flying machine setup, join the SciCraft server and you can download the schematic. But what I'll do is I'll just show you this. It's fairly simple. It's like 1 block wide. And there's all the directions of things. And yeah, it's a fairly simple setup. Now, it really didn't take long to dig these trenches. Each trench is the same length, the different width. For the wider ones here, we use 4 TNT dupers. For the smaller ones, we only use 2. And it takes about half an hour to go from the surface to the bottom, providing you're clearing up liquids as you go. So yeah, it is quite a time-consuming process. It's half an hour each, so that's 2 hours in total to dig out the trenches themselves, but it took a lot of setup to do this stuff. We spent a lot of time just conditioning the area, getting rid of all the trees and things. We didn't have to do it, but doing this, getting rid of the trees and parts of the extreme hills, meant that when we build the world data, which we'll be doing next, we won't need to build it high up, so that will save us a bit of time in terms of excavating this area. So yeah, excavating the area itself will take quite a while. I estimate anywhere between 18 and maybe 24 hours. It's currently Monday right now. This episode should go live on Wednesday, if everything goes according to plan. Who knows, it might not. So yeah, we need to get to work. Yeah, I'm really liking this project. This is the first perimeter I've ever done. It's completely nuts, and I am enjoying this process so far. But yeah, why don't we get the world data itself built? And I think we're going to pop into a testing world so I can show off the world data design. So here's the world data we're going to be using. Obviously, our one is going to be a lot larger than this one. This is just to show off the overall concept. So Ilmango did the video on this a little while back, so I'm going to leave a link to that down below. There isn't any tutorials that I know of. Maybe some smaller creators have made them, but for the purposes of today's project, I'm just going to use light matter to create a schematic, and then we can build based off of that schematic on the AutoCraft server. So yeah, why don't we fire this off and I can explain how this thing works. So to start this, we need to break this redstone block right here, and it should fire off. So we've got TNT dupers up there. We have liquid removers down here. In fact, I am going to turn off my game sound. So we've got liquid removers there, and then return stations for both. And the best thing about it is this whole world here will move down in the world after you clear out each layer. So you don't need to make it insanely huge. And yeah, it's a fairly simple process. It will remove all your liquids and all the blocks. Obviously, you need to do your trench setup before that. Hence why, trenches. The trenches are so that these machines can fly down, along with this part as well, and the same over there. However, I'm not sure why these trenches here even exist, considering... Oh, they don't exist. Well, they do exist because, we don't have any TNT dupers right here. But yeah, it's fairly simple, so that has just made it to that side. It should start coming back now. Or not. Maybe. Okay, yeah, I don't fully understand this thing. But yeah, it's a fairly simple thing, so why don't we head back onto the AutoCraft server and start constructing this beast. So after quite some time, we have the TNT dupers and the liquid sweepers all constructed. This took quite a while. I've just spent the last hour or so going over this, making sure everything is placed perfectly, because if anything is out of line, we will encounter issues. But yeah, we've made really good progress with this thing. We've got it going from this side of the perimeter all the way to the other one over there. Next, what we need to do is we need to go and construct the return stations on the opposite sides. And as you can see, I'm playing with 32 chunk render distance right now, just so that I can see the entire perimeter, because it's looking very, very nice. So yeah, I cleared out the flying machines that we use for the trenches, because I didn't do that. So they're all gone, and now we can construct these return stations. So after several days worth of work, that's right, several days, the return stations are in place. Now I've spent probably the past 3 or 4 hours making sure everything is lined up, and I've had to move this thing several times because I never measured it properly. You know what they say, measure twice, cut once. So if we do a project like this again, I'm going to make a massive schematic of it, because what I did with this one is I made 2 schematics and I had to line them up, so that caused a lot of trouble. So next time we won't do that. But yeah, it's took me that long to do this project that a little base is propped up there right next to the witch farm. So let's go and take a look and see if we can evict the inhabitants. Hello? Hello? Is anyone here? Oh. Oh. You can't live here anymore. I need this area to farm your kind. You need to leave. Alright, fine. I guess I'll just have to force you to leave. Have a nice day. Let's go blow him up. Alright, so after an incredible amount of time, we have finished this perimeter. Well, almost finished it, there's still some work to do. Now, I have to say, this took a lot longer than I wanted it to. Also, you can't see the other side of the perimeter right now because we aren't standing in the middle of it. So yeah, basically, this only took 2.5 hours to go from the top to the bottom. But it took several days to get this to work properly. Several days of starting and reloading server backups because this thing kept on breaking. And yeah, let's just say I started this at the beginning of the week. It's currently Thursday. Yeah, I wanted to release this video on Wednesday, but obviously that didn't happen, so here we are. And yeah, that's it. That's all the blocks removed, all the way down to the bottom of the world. You can see there's pockets of ore left. We're going to be addressing that in just a moment. Now, as it stands right now, we are currently down to only one block above bedrock. There is a few blocks here and there where there was lava lakes and things like that. Now, rather than moving this entire machine down again because it will ruin the perfectly flat areas, I'm going to set up a beacon grid and then I'm going to go around and deal with all of this stuff myself. But you may notice, well, you probably didn't notice because of the way I paused the replay mode when I was doing this stuff, but I collected resources that were exposed during this project. Now, the resources in question are quite valuable, and they're over here, and we have got quite a substantial amount of them, which is insane. So we'll start with the most abundant one, and there's some mobs below us. We have not 1, not 2, not 3, but 3.2 shulker boxes of redstone ore. Now this is going to be used for a witch farm, so collecting the redstone ore probably wasn't necessary, but I won't be building the the witch farm right away because, come on, like, I need content. That's another episode's worth of stuff right there, so we're not going to do that today. So yeah, this redstone supply I'm going to split equally between me, Rustic and Splashes, and that should keep us afloat for a little while until we get the witch farm up and running. We will be doing the witch farm next episode. But there's more. We didn't just get 3.2 shulker boxes of redstone ore, we also got 10 and a bit stacks of diamond ore, which is nuts, and a lot of lapis. That's like almost 15 stacks, which is insane. But yeah, there's some more of those resources down there, so let's go and collect those along with perfectly flattening this area. Alright, so we've flattened this entire area. It took a little while. I went through a lot of resources doing this. In terms of resources, I mean food and rockets. So I was constantly flying about checking for floating blocks or ghost blocks or whatever. And the amount of food I had to eat because of these guys, like I refilled the stack of golden carrots I had. Like, it's nuts. Like, just going down there and the sheer quantity of slimes that spawned were nuts. But yeah, we've finally got this thing done. Now, what we've also done is we've put a layer of stone around this. You can just see over there where the game isn't loading. We're going to be placing water next. Now, you may be wondering why that isn't loading, and it was earlier on in this episode. I switched from using Optifine to using something called sodium. It's from the people who created lithium, which we also use on the server. And yeah, I went from 60 FPS, that wasn't, all that good, to well over 250. So yeah, I'm going to use this mod for the near future because I love this stuff. But yeah, that's all that stuff there. And we got some more materials up here. Let's see, so with a little bit more lapis than last time. We got some additional redstone, And look at that, some more diamonds. So yeah, we're doing quite good. Anyways, next steps, we put in the water, and then no more slimes should spawn within the perimeter. Alright, so all the water is in place apart from this corner here. Once we fill in this corner, it will start creating infinite sources all along this thing. So let's get that done. Place that stuff in. And there we have it. It is now all done. So let's get up some air. There we go. And if we turn around... Ah, perfect. Alright, that's awesome. Now this whole area is going to be covered in water. So now that all the water is in place, we can class this perimeter as finished. Now we will be decorating it in the future, but we simply can't do that right now. We don't have anywhere near enough resources to do a job like that. So yeah, next steps for this area is we're going to be building a witch farm, so we've got to do that next time. Because yeah, we need redstone for a lot of future projects. But yeah, like now that this is done, I'm quite happy with it. Like yeah, it was a massive learning experience. We learned how to use world eaters, and we learned the things we should do and shouldn't do. The main problem we had, and the reason that this took as long is because I never laid anything up properly. It was always like one block off or one block too high or something like that. So next time what I should do is I should create a schematic of this entire thing once it's completed in a creative world. And I can make sure everything's lined up there without any issue. And then I can build it super quick on here. And then I won't have as many problems as I did doing this. I'm happy with it. Like, yeah, this is my first perimeter. This is my first large scale hole that I've ever done, which is good, and we'll be doing a lot more of them in the near future. Now we will be dismantling this machine. We'll probably do it later on, maybe next time. I need to take a schematic of it because in its complete state it's actually quite decent. And yeah, like this was a fun project overall. Now obviously we have all these diamonds over here along with this redstone. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be giving a box of redstone ore to Splashes and another box to Rustic. Then I will be keeping this box, and then this box. But what we're going to do right now is we're actually going to go and fortune up all of the diamonds and all of the lapis. So as you can tell by the amount of levels I now have, which is a considerable amount, we have just spent quite a bit of time fortuning up some ores. Now bear in mind, we are giving a shulker box of redstone ore to Rustic and then another one to Splashes. But yeah, everything else in these other three boxes has been fortuned. So let's take a look at it. So, comparing it to the last clip, we now have some redstone blocks there. There's some even more redstone. It's an insane amount. Lapis, and this is my favourite box. Look at all those diamonds. That's insane. So that's 3 stacks plus 27. That's an insane amount plus all those lapis. Oh my god, but hold on actually. If we look at my diamond supply as it stands right now before we add this stuff to it, I only have 45 diamond blocks to my name, which is nuts. So yeah, we are now the richest person on the server. I challenge anyone in the server to try and get some more diamonds at me. But this is a good thing because now we can do little mini games or like shops or things where we can do diamond piles like we did on Timecraft previously. So yeah, I am happy with this stuff. Like, this means I can go shopping and I can buy out like all the shops in the shopping district if I really want to. Although I probably won't because that'll be unfair to everyone else. But yeah, that stuff, that is quite sweet, that is. Yeah, this project has been, it's been a big one. Now obviously bear in mind, I never designed this world eater. This was by El Mango. I'll leave a link to that video in the description. But yeah, this is nuts. So we're going to be taking advantage of this area next time to build a witch farm. In fact, I'm probably going to start working on that tomorrow, and then I'll have the next episode ready fairly quickly. But yeah, this project was mad. This is my first perimeter, and I'm happy to say it was pretty successful after debugging the world eater quite a bit. Now, before we end today's episode, I'd like to pop on over to the shopping district because I haven't been over there in almost a week. Because I know for a fact that we've made some diamonds. So let's head on over there. So we're over at the beacon shop right now. It has been quite a while since I've been over here, and I haven't actually restocked this shop since we first constructed it. Now obviously we have made some diamonds, we've made quite a few diamonds from this project already, but we've made some more, so let's take a look at our profits. Oh yeah, that's a lot of diamonds right there. Alright, so let's see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 diamond blocks right there. Now, I won't be adding this into my collection because obviously we're going to be splitting this with the other members of the Caverns of Industry. So what we're going to do is we're going to pick up all these diamonds, we're going to head on over to the Caverns of Industry Desert Island, and we're going to split these items up equally. So here we are over at the Caverns of Industry Island. If you're new to the series and you're wondering what the Caverns of Industry is, it's basically a collaborative group between me, Rustic and Splashes. And yeah, we basically like, you know, we've created a little bit of a monopoly with shops and things like that, and we each create our own shops, and when we split the profits evenly. Now, even though there's only 3 members of the group, we split it 4 ways because we have a surplus of diamonds that we keep for, say, Caverns of Industry projects. So let us split this thing 4 ways, shall we? So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. In fact, what we'll do is we'll convert all these to diamonds, split this 4 ways, and then let's see what the split is like. Alright, okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to put 33 in for Rustic, 33 in for Splashes, and then to keep this even, we'll put this there. First of all, we're going to craft all these diamonds. Boop, there we go. And there we have it. So this is my share. So let's craft that, and we can add it to our own diamond supply, which is insane. In fact, we can craft another diamond block. And would you look at that? This is the most diamonds I've ever had in my entire 8-year history of playing Minecraft. In the whole 20,000 hours of this game that I've played, I've never seen so many diamonds in one place other than modded Minecraft. This is truly insane. But yeah, if you want to see some more insane progress like this, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We do lots of insane technical projects, and funnily enough, we're going to be doing a single player technical playthrough soon. So if you're interested in that, make sure to subscribe and hit that bell icon. I'd like to thank you all for watching this episode of the AutoCraft so far. Make sure you go and watch everyone else on the server. On the left hand screen right now, there are 2 videos, one that YouTube wants you to watch and one that I think you should watch. Make sure you go and watch them, and remember to leave a like, subscribe, and hopefully you will enjoy the videos.